We have the chat bands rolling here for the round of 4 game. DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 65. Zyra and Kassadin. Zyra, a lot of AoE damage, can zone extremely well, has some crowd control in the form of slow, snare, and airborne. Zyra is an amazing character for this map. Kassadin, he's a mobile character, has a long duration silence, has a slow. He can escape and engage. Not quite as infinitely as he used to, thankfully, but he's still a solid character. Kayle, her damage runs away late game. AoE AD carry. That's all you need to know. That's what makes her so scary. And we saw some amazing intervention use in the last game. And Kha'Zix being the last one. Kha'Zix does enough damage to either A, force them out of the fight, or B, kill them. He's a major threat, and he's difficult to kill. Go Weshnever. I don't know how to spell, apparently. If you want to hang out with us, Dominion players and community, go down in this lower button in the lower right-hand corner, click that, and go up, click Create or Join a Chat Room, and then type into this field, DominateDominion, and then hit Enter, and we'll put you over here in this chat channel with all the rest of us, with all 177 of us. It caps out at 200. And we hang out, we talk about Dominion, we talk about other games, we run in-houses, a lot of people stream, so a lot of cool things to be going on in there. And when you do, make sure you go up here, click this button, click auto-join on startup and show timestamp. That way you won't have to type it in every time you log in. Lulu being banned as well. Lulu has multiple spells that affect health and movement speed. She has 2 crowd controls. She's great. Like, Lulu's entire kit's amazing. She's fast and has a ton of buffs. Nidalee being banned as well. Nidalee's poke is extremely good, and her traps give vision. And the only way to stop her from having those traps is to either A, take the vision from them, or B, ban her so she can never put them down in the first place. Urgot. He's a very durable, ranged AD. He's a lot easier to keep alive than other ones, and he trades well in the bottom lane. Jace being banned as well. Jace, good long-range poke, durable bruiser. He has a great disengage if he's trying to 1v1 in melee with the knockback, acceleration gate out. Jace is a difficult character to deal with. Next ban, Blank Space. The unexpected is a very important thing to keep out of the game. Are the Urgot bans targeted at Sauron? They may be. They may be. Bean_heart asks in the chat that question. Amumu being banned as well. A lot of AoE damage. He has a stun that's pretty spammable. And Wukong, armor reduction plus AoE airborne, absolutely brutal. And that's how he starts off each fight, with armor reduction and AoE airborne. The only way to stop him from doing that is to not start a fight. What? You either have to kill him alone somewhere before he can really deploy that with his team to back him up, or you have to ban him so he just never gets an opportunity to do it. This is the round of 4 game. Semifinals. Cheese Enema versus Clueless. Clueless's team tag is what? It makes me happy. W-U-T. What? Sifu Calvin picking up Brand right away. Brand, he's good at zoning. He has a lot of AoE damage. Has a stun. His passive is great. Percent damage is nice. If he gets Blackfire Torch, percent damage with percent damage. It's pretty scary. Teemo being picked up by Clueless. Teemo is a character that... Teemo gives map control with Noxious Traps. He gives vision with them as well. Blind. A lot of ability power damage. He's dangerous. He's fast. He gives vision. Usually he doesn't get through the bans, but we're actually get to see him in this game. There was a very interesting stream on the internet, twitch.tv/TeemoDies. If you like seeing Teemo die, you can watch him die again and 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 again. It just doesn't stop. It's very interesting. So, if you want to check that out after the broadcast is over, you might find a couple laughs over there. And BB Pop picking up Pantheon. Pantheon's a durable melee character. He's good at finishing people off. He can stand and fight. He has a stun. A lot of good things about Pantheon. Global map presence with Grand Skyfall is also nice. We're seeing Jarvan. Jarvan can do damage. He can crowd control people with an airborne. He has a slow. Cataclysm spawns terrain to box enemies into other people's AoEs. Like, look at this Brand and Annie. Branny. You can't stop the Branny. If J4 gets an awesome Cataclysm, then it turns into a brick oven, because Annie and Bran will just light that up. Incinerate, Tibbers, Pillar of Flame, Pyroclasm. Everything bad will happen because of Branny. Unless someone tells me otherwise, Lysick came up with the term Branny. So, that Brick Oven Branny combo with J4, that's rough. I am percent scared for that. This game is going to be more about blowing up than bodying, I tell you what. Well, let's see what the heck they pick to try and deal with that combination. Cassiopeia and Leona. Nivea. Oriana. Syndra. Cassiopeia? Cassiopeia! There we go. Cassiopeia has a lot of AoE damage. She has really high sustain damage. Leona brings AoE crowd control, makes for a good dive because of Eclipse, and a good chase because of Zenith Blade. Leona brings the stuns to the table. Pantheon brings some stun to the table. And Cassiopeia can zone very well. The problem here is Cassiopeia and Teemo are not very durable. Brand and Annie can be durable, especially Annie. One stun from either one of those will probably end the other, unless Pantheon or Leona are really on it about countering. Because if Teemo gets caught by the AoE, he has Brand and Annie's... He has the brick oven. But Cassiopeia and Leona, what did I say? MKH Gragas, with the last pick over there. Guys, the players, the reason we have the summoner blockers up is the players actually like to listen to the stream during the champion picking phase. And Sauron, the Yorick player, just this quote right here by this guy right here. Oh dear. And the players like to hang out in the chat during the pick and ban phase. There's a delay after that, so they can't snipe. But it's always funny to see their responses. So Sauron's a little scared. Or maybe he's just unhappy he has to play Yorick. We'll see how that turns out. And the delay has happened, which means the players are at the loading screen now. So take off these summoner blockers. Okay, what do I like, what do I not like? I like, Vi J4, they work well together. Brick Oven is a good combo. MKH knows how to Gragas pretty well. A lot of ability power damage over on. She's Enema's side. But they don't really have a dedicated tank. They just have a lot of bruiser, brawler, fight going on. Over on the other side, however, they have Leona. They have two people that tend to be very glassy, Teemo and Cassiopeia. They have Pantheon, who's pretty damn durable. And they have Jace, who's... Not Jace, excuse me. He's not in this game. He got banned. I was reading the ban, sorry. And then we have Sauron, who is down the bottom lane as Yorick. Yorick's a very sustainable character. So there's going to be a very notable imbalance in the amount of damage dealt overall. It's going to be, can Pantheon pick out people with the stun the right way? Because he's going to get a stun on part of the brick oven, either Brand or Annie. Preferably Brand, because Annie's going to be a lot more durable. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Guys, I like Clueless. I think Enema has a really good comp. However, if Enema gets split up somehow, they're not really going to be able to utilize that AoE damage unless they can work together. Which means, if the positioning from Clueless's team is really good, they won't be able to deliver that AoE the way they want, which means they're going to have to do this weird, like, multiple angle thing. I could see Teemo playing, like, some silly poke tease somewhere, trying to bait people away from the team to zone Teemo away, and then the rest of the team, Pantheon, Cassiopeia, Leona, getting into an engagement with J4, Vi, and whichever member of Branny isn't there. That's what I could see being effective, because if they get into a straight-up head-to-head engagement, they are going to bake at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 13 minutes. 11 minutes if you want a softer crust, or 16 minutes if you want a crunchier one. Place Teemo directly on oven rack. Remove foil before cooking. Just a couple of seconds before we get into this game. Once again, we are Dominate Dominion, the DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament. This is number 65. This is the round of 4 game. It is going to be Cheese Enema versus Clueless to see which one of them moves on to the finals for this week. Give me my loading screen. Give me my loading screen. Give me my loading. League of Legends, please. I'm trying to do a show here. Okay. At the loading screen, Cheese Enema on the top half of the loading screen, consisting of Sifu Calvin playing as Vi, Krog playing as Jarvan IV, Lurch playing as Brand, Corval playing as Annie, and MKH playing as Gragas. On the bottom half, we have the team Clueless, Half-Hearted playing as Teemo, BB Pop playing as Pantheon, Commander Peoples playing as Cassiopeia, Ro4 playing as Leona, and Sauron playing as Sauron. I am 1 out of 1 of your casters this week. I am Gandair, and normally there's more to that sentence. Look at these two teams. I think that Cheese Enema has a definite advantage during team fights because of the brick oven comp. And on the other side, I see Teemo. Teemo can be a game changer in any game. Because of his movement speed, because of his noxious traps, Teemo can do a lot alone. He's one of the champions. Caston's another good example of a character that can do a lot by themselves. Any champion that can be highly mobile on the map and threaten to gank, or get out of position and threaten to backcap. Annie, I think Annie's running CDR, CDR, CDR. Let's take a look. Game paused at the moment, which means we do get a second to look at Annie. Can I click and drag this out? Pause screen, why? I can sort of see through this. So Annie with 10% cooldown reduction off the bat. See that? Total Biscuit regeneration there. Can I pause the screen, please? Please pause screen. I wanted to analyze starting items, but they haven't had a chance to buy any yet. They probably disconnect. I wonder who it is. I'm going to guess Sifu. I'm going to guess Sifu had a connection issue. It's my story and I'm sticking to it.
A summoner has reconnected.
Oh, it was Krog! Only Krog? What? Mola Coco, if you have to hype it yourself, it probably doesn't need any hype. Are we waiting on anyone else? Connections, please! MKH is probably in the bottom lane. Sauron also. It looks like that's going to be what we're going to see down the bottom, is that matchup. Looks like they're already in the right places. Everybody tied for gold. Ooh, not quite. Annie already ahead on gold at the 12-second mark. We'll see if that lead is going to be a big thing going on in the later parts of the game. Because Annie has that advantage already. We'll have to see how that plays out. Boots, Prospector's Items, Sneak Catalyst first on MKH. MKH. I wonder if MKH is going to do his Rod of Ages build. MKH, once upon a time, just built a lot of Rod of Ages and didn't die. It was interesting. But I expect we're just going to see it as a starting item. Calm down, Brand. Over on the other side of the map? Yeah, Sauron is going to be going to the bottom. I'm really anxious for this game to start and see how this plays out. Come on, game! I want to see this. I want to see these team fights. I want to see level 6. I want to see team fights because I want to know what's going to happen. If they're going to be able to put Clueless in the brick oven or not. The brick oven is brand Annie J4 because you make an oven out of brick and then you heat it. Both teams heading over the top part of the map. Looks like Leo and Vi are going to stay by to cap the middle points. Gragas and Yorick down on the bottom. Stormdog's not spawned yet.
Blue team has captured the refinery. Red team's captured the drill.
Spear shot, a little bit of poke there. Teemo and Cassiopeia, that's a lot of poke. They can do a lot of damage in this early fight and chip away. Brand at the top, you can see him taking a lot of damage already. Popping that health potion, getting that rolling immediately. Corville still with the stun, hasn't opted to use it yet. Are we going to see him burn it on someone? Looks like it's going to go for Teemo right away. Teemo is going to be defeated. Corville with that Bolt Shield staying alive just a little bit longer, especially against an exhausted Commander Peoples. See how many Twin Fangs he had to blow in order to take down Annie? There's a lot more work that he had to put in than he wanted to. Lurch still alive, able to kill Pantheon. Revives having occurred. J4 and Teemo are on the way to the top. It's J4 against the world right now. He wants to kind of make his presence known, make them a little bit discouraged from starting the capture so his teammates can arrive. Leona going for it. She's in a great position to Zenith Blade into a fight if she needs to, but just walk up stun on Corville instead. Sifu with the damage. J4 through with the airborne stun on Ro4. Good combination with the crowd control. Now BB Pop exhausted. They want to take out Pantheon and are able to do so. Annie picking up that kill. Krog poisoned. Lurch coming in from the back. Oh, does not connect with the Seer, unfortunately, but Annie had a stun there, backed up for Brand. Cassiopeia, oh, the flash in, and J4 through to the other side with an airborne. Ro4 now 1v3. Cassiopeia did not get what she wanted out of that ultimate. Ro4's trying to do something about this, but with that Zenith Blade down from its use at the beginning, there really wasn't anything you could do to get to that tower, unfortunately. People's heading to the center of the map is going to grab the Storm Shield. Leona and Vi taking a look at each other and parting ways. Looks like Vi heading down to the lower part of the map. Looks like they're going to go for the dive on Sauron's Yorick. Yorick is 6 though, he does have that Omen of Death. Is he going to... Yes, there we go. No. Not going to pop it. Sauron, man. No. Sauron not going to use the Omen of Death, unfortunately. He's just going to take the death. Minions are going to get a lot of capture on that tower. Looks like they may turn it neutral. It's going to be really close. Sauron. What? This is why Sauron has over 3,000 ELO, because he knows little technical stuff like that. He counted the minions, saw that, well, they can't actually get enough capture as long as my ally zones them out. And that's what he did. BB Pop and Lurch having a disagreement in the middle. They decide to not get into a fight at the moment. Top point of the map, though, minions are getting a lot of chip away at this tower. It's getting progressively lower and lower as time passes. Pantheon in from behind. Good stun on Corville. Half hard with a little bit of damage as well. Lurch trying to engage from the bottom. Stun on Leona. Leona chase with the Zenith Blade. Doesn't have a stun to apply yet. Solar Flare. Lurch walks right into it. Sifu Calvin having to dash away. And now they're going to turn around and go 4-man stomp up towards the top of the tower. Corville is going to get harassed by Leona. Leona's going to keep Corville away. Krog has to defend against all of this by himself. I don't think he's going to. Are we going to see him use his Cataclysm? Or is he going to save it? He is going to save it because he's dead. Did not go for the last stand on the point. He's going to regroup with the Cataclysm with his allies and go for a different play. Leona going to take this time to recall. Sauron and Gragas. Sauron pushing up against him now. Bringing those minions closer and closer. Sauron having control of the relic. And Sauron's going to go ahead and recall. He's not going to go for it. He's going to go ahead, go back and buy. Vi is going to take the Storm Shield in the center. And just barely secure it. Pantheon's range is not quite good enough to have intercepted Vi there, unfortunately for him. He did want to get that pick off. Teemo Mushroom acting as a ward. Oh, the vision proc. They see Leona. They know the team is split up. They want to wedge it in the middle. Tracking down BB Pop. BB Pop gets dunked. Lurch and Corval see the two team members with the stuns working together. Great combination from Cassiopeia and Leona. Double stun, but there was no damage to follow it up, unfortunately. Solar Flare into Cassiopeia's ultimate. And just not having anyone to capitalize on that afterward. Now they're going to turn around the top point. Cheese Enema. Just spinning that point around like a top. Minions did a very good job. This minion, wow, this minion's staying. He's dedicated. And they have secured the drill over on the other side. Krog poking his head out, trying to retreat, but being intercepted by Pantheon. Really doesn't have any way to get out of that, unfortunately. Hung around a little bit too long on that side of the map. Man, this minion is dedicated to the cause. Look at him. Look at him. Such a good little guy. Sifu Calvin trying to come around from the back, but Leona is there to force him away. Annie by herself, Corval on the point. And they can harass Annie off that point. They're going to go in with the stun from Pantheon and the damage from Cassiopeia. Twin Fang picking up the kill. Lurch and Sifu. It's a 4v2 up at the top. Sifu being stalked away. Oh, the damage from Cassiopeia is going to be enough. He dashes away. Escapes. Seer does not connect. No stun for Lurch's brand right now. And Half Hard going to intercept. A lot of damage from that blinding dart. On the bottom half of the map, Sauron and Krog have a little bit of disagreement. Sauron with the Omen of Death popped, wants to try and get that KB, but is going to break away. Oh, the Vi ultimate, though, is going to seal the deal and pick up that kill. MKH by himself in the bottom lane. Teemo and Leona behind. MKH is going away. Ro4 is going to go for it? Nope. He thought about bush checking, decided against it. Because he saw where he went to. At the top, Sifu and Krog. Cassiopeia hanging out behind the windmill. Teemo Mushroom. That damage. Look at Sifu Calvin's health just plummet the second he triggers that. Krog sticking his head out. There's the Cataclysm. Pyroclasm in. Good bounces on that. Annie with the tippers on top of it. Brick Oven baking the enemy team. Lurch putting some hurt on Ro4. Low on health now. The Eclipse proc doing a lot of damage. And Corval with a stun on Ro4 trying to retreat. Not able to do so, unfortunately. That Zenith Blade damage connecting. And Lurch kiting Ro4 away from the opposite side. Lurch could break off and try and clean up these minions, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be. In the bottom, MKH, Sauron pushing up against him on the tower. Sauron and MKH, former teammates from the Team Point Defense. One of the dominant teams in Dominion history. Up at the top, Sifu by himself against the world. Takes a lot of damage, retreats. And is going to recall. Brick Oven in the middle of the map. Corval's Annie going for the center relic. Teemo, oh, Teemo. This could be bad for you. Seer does not connect, unfortunately. Has to blow the exhaust on Krog. Desperately trying to stay alive now. AoE airborne on him. Walks into Pillar of Flame. Damage from Annie is enough to pick him up. Teemo did everything he could to try and escape, but unfortunately was not able to. Pantheon coming down from the top. Forces Lurch to stop capping. No one capping at the time. BB Pop walks onto the point. Discourages them from getting any further capture in. Leona is just waiting. Just outside of vision, in the fog of war. Reveals herself now, moving on up to the top point. But unfortunately, not quite able to do a lot. Leona is alive. She will live for a few more moments. Could stay alive for a fair amount of time if it wasn't for the fact that Annie has that Storm Shield, can keep chipping away with extra damage, and one person can cap all the other fights. Ro4. Oh, Zenith Blades away through Corval. Forces Corval to take some extra damage, keeping the point safe for the moment. Cataclysm goes down. Teemo gets erased. Corval still alive. He really wanted to connect with Annie and send her back to the summoner platform, but was not able to do so. Vi heading up to the top now.
Blue team has captured the windmill.
In the bottom, Sauron and MK switching places for a moment. A little bit of harass back and forth. Vi and Cassiopeia are discovering each other. Commander Peoples just stalking Sifu, using the ultimate though against only Vi, and now with the entire enemy team there, might wish that she had that available, unfortunately. A lot of action in the bottom. Leona trying to go up top. Minions, what are you doing? Minions on a union break. I'm not sure about that. Might just be a graphical error. Probably just a graphical error. Yes, ma'am, kablam. I want in on some of that after tourney. Sifu Calvin and Ro4 having a disagreement in the middle of the map. Ro4 wants to kite them over those mushrooms, but not able to do so. Sauron going back once again in the bottom lane. These minions are so happy up here. Oh dear, they're activated! The minions are activated! Teemo Mushroom, Sifu Calvin low on health, dunks through to Leona to buy a couple seconds extra life. Pyroclasm used on BB Pop, no bounces, complete bounce denial. And that Blackfire Torch damage is kind of chipping away on them. Ro4 going for the capture, Sifu in from the back. Sifu and Krowog against J4, Sifu and J4 going to take down Pantheon. Cassiopeia with the ultimate. Stun. Cataclysm going to cut off the escape route. And Half-Hearted alone doing a lot of damage, just sitting and chipping away at everyone. Sifu Calvin has to retreat. Goes for the move quick. Uh-oh. Corval, I'm scared for you. Runs over the Teemo Mushroom. BB Pop comes down. And Annie scared the tippers out of her. Corval's health plummeting. BB Pop, though, has to fall back. Lurch is there, throwing shots in over the wall. Annie connects with a stun, is able to take down Pantheon. Teemo's damage takes down Annie, but Sifu and Lurch are going to be able to take the tower. In the bottom lane, Krowog goes down for a gank on behalf of MKH, is able to secure it against Sauron. Ro4 begins capturing. There's no one to contest the Storm Shield, so Leona is going to get it just fine.
Red team's Nexus is at 50% health.
$2v2 on the top. Unfortunately, though, the rest of the teammates not there at the moment. Seeing some pings going down in the middle of the map. Zenith Blade catches up with Sifu Calvin. A little bit of damage from the Eclipse proc. Cassiopeia and Brand up by the windmill. Have Krowog moving in on the point. Pantheon with the stun. They're able to take down Lurch. Imbalanced fight, though, for the moment. Corval, the durability from that Molten Shield, keeping him alive just a little bit longer. Half-Hard is unfortunately not going to be able to take out Krowog. It's up to Sifu and Krowog to defend this point against Ro4. Leona very tanky. Might not have the damage, though, to be able to secure this. And no, not going to get another round of abilities in to take out Krowog. Very back and forth at the top point. Teemo's Mushrooms active in the middle of the map, serving as wards and slows and damage. Sifu going to go ahead and recall. Neil and Teemo heading to the top. Game been fairly even. Chizuma has a little bit of a lead on Clueless for the moment. Clueless pushing in on the jungle once again. They want to get into a fight off point. And at the top point, Corval by himself on it, turning around to contribute to the fight. 3 coming up from the bottom. just never know when these guys are going to engage. Lots of positioning going on. Clueless knows that if they get into a fight at a bad angle, it could be a lot of AoE damage done to them. Half-hearted with Teemo, cutting it on the back. Krowog taking a lot of damage there. Half-hearted circling around, going to intercept Krowog for some more, but they see Lurch and back off. Corval just too durable right now with that Molten Shield. Molten Shield, BFT, and Hextech Sweeper, and Prospector's Ring, giving a lot of health to Corval's Annie. Vi in from the back is going to help finish off Ro4. BB Pop and Half-Hearted over by the center. Half-Hearted going to do a little bit of damage to Sifu. BB Pop goes for the stun, gets dunked by Vi though, and Half-Hearted having to fall back. Oh, the block charge being burned by Corval with an auto attack. Solar Flare does not connect. Half-Hearted low on health is trying to get back as far away as he can. Unfortunately, does get taken down by Annie's Disintegrate. Ro4 trying to pick up any kill he can get on them, but has to retreat. Wants to run them through that mushroom. Krowg is going to buy it, but probably won't be enough to kill him. He's going to wait that out. Yeah, Krog's going to be just fine. Sauron pushing up minions in the bottom lane. And that Nexus health gap slowly starting to climb higher and higher. Clueless is getting further down with each moment that passes. Branded Jarvan using the sweeper to reveal the mushrooms. Try to take down some of those noxious traps. Oh, Zenith Blade checking it out. Sifu alone at the top takes a lot of damage. Zenith Blade connects. Oh, tried to dash away, not able to do so. Leona keeping control of Vi for a moment, but the rest of the team is back on the other side of the point. A little bit of back and forth poke. They're driving minions slowly into the tower, and if they do that for long enough, eventually it will be neutral. So there's sort of a soft time limit to this top point engagement. Ro4 is hanging out just comfortably out of range. People's kind of clipping in from the back now. They want to push them into a situation where they could freely move on to this tower. Minions still chipping away at it. Defensive Garrison's going to buy them some more time. Half-Hearted stunned, unfortunately. Teemo being taken down. Fight starting. And BB Pop is maybe going to, yes, get killed before he could really secure any finishing blows. If you look at the health on all members of this team, Pantheon was just not able to finish anyone off, unfortunately. Leona and Cassiopeia down here in this area of the fight were not able to do the damage here that they wanted to. Teemo died very early on. Pantheon was crowd controlled. In the bottom, MKH is about 1,300 gold behind Yorick. Sifu Calvin taking a lot of damage. Seems to be okay because Vi is a pretty durable character. Is going to dash away. Has that damage ticking, but seems to be just fine. Two members dead on Clueless' side. They can't really push right now. They need the rest of their teammates in order to be able to make a play. They cannot win a 2v4, especially with the amount of stun that Brand and Annie have. Vi coming down. Oh, reveals herself. Sauron sees it, has to retreat. And is going to turn around and decide to fight MKH instead. Pantheon coming down. Ro4 in from the back. A reverse gank. Sifu stunned. Explosive cast knocking them back, giving Sifu a little bit of breathing room. Sifu trying to get away. Solar Flare from Leona, taking him down. And now MKH and everyone else trying to tank up on this point and defend it. Point getting closer to neutral with every passing second. This is the quest objective point. Sauron getting lower in health. Sustaining as best as he can. Krowog finally able to take him down. J4 with the Cataclysm boxing Half-Hearted in. Half-Hearted does not have any more mana, so we're not going to see any more of those blinding darts. Relying on those auto attacks instead. Leon is able to pick up the kill on Jarvan. At the top, Cassiopeia and Brand having a little bit of a poke disagreement. And Half-Hearted just has so little mana. Try and get some chip in on Sifu. Wants to kite Sifu over those mushrooms. He needs to really be using his ultimate to his advantage here. Sifu bait him out harder. Gets hit by that Solar Flare once again. Leona picking up another kill. But unfortunately, MKH was able to defend the point. At the top, Commander Peoples, Annie coming in from the back, lands the stun. Brand into another stun. Pyroclasm. Disrespect. Throws away the Pyroclasm on Cassiopeia. Completely unnecessary. Half-Hard taking some damage there. BB Pop. Exhaust on Lurch. Lurch taking some damage. No Pyroclasm to try and balance between them. Is going to get the kill on Teemo, though, unfortunately. Teemo gets sent back to the summoner platform. They are going to turn this around. Clock has been stopped. Clock now ticking down in their favor.
Red team has captured the win.
A little bit of damage from Vi, boxed in by J4. BB Pop getting swept up. Point being turned around now. Leona, is she going to be able to hero mode this? Solar Flare thrown down on Sifu. Zenith on the crowd, turns around. AA's Corval tries to take them on. Minions push the tower over to neutral, unfortunately, and Ro4 has to retreat. Does kite them through a couple of mushrooms on the way to do a lot of damage, but unfortunately, no one en route to the point to finish that off.
Team has captured the win.
The bottom point has to become neutral now, or the game is over for Clueless. MKH is going to come back. Had that Guardian Angel proc. Bought him a little bit extra time. 2 bounces to Half-Hearted, but still barely alive. Wants to hang out in the back, throwing down some mushrooms. Point neutral. Clock still stopped. But being so close to Chizuna's Nexus, not working out for them. Those revive waves are getting in just so much faster. Lurch capping the point back. Once that's secure, it's up to Vi to hold the top point. Vi cannot do that while dead, because you cannot use bed space time in this game. Commander Peoples and Ro4 are going to get the neutral. Clock stopped again at 4. The minions are activated on the left side. The blue minions waking up just in time. Peoples recalling, though. Neon has plenty of health and mana. Sifu taking some damage from that.
Rampage.
Lots of mushrooms around. Bottom point neutral. Clock stopped. And is this going to be the last fight of the game? We'll find out. MKH alone. Point, oh, just barely not captured. No minions to push it over either.
Double kill.
Vi by herself, though. Lopsided fight in a different area of the map. And that point's going to get turned around. Pantheon, I don't know if he can get there in time. He's going to go for it. Bottom point, not going to get captured fast enough, unfortunately. So close. Pantheon had the right idea, but Yorick's solo capping was not enough to turn the point around. Enema going to advance on to the finals. Take a look at the post-game lobby screen. Outcome screen. You can see all the items and things there. Damage dealt to champions. Teemo at 45k even. It's got those triples right there. Cassiopeia not far behind with 42k. And up at the top you can see Brand and Annie very, very close to each other in damage. And let's take a look and see who the Graveyard Hero of this game was. Graveyard Hero of this game, Teemo. Graveyard Hero. We're going to go to a quick break, and then I'm going to come back with the finals. Is going to be Enema versus